You're not okay. You wake up hollow, eyes open, but there's no fire, no mission, no edge, just noise. You feel like a ghost, invisible in your own life. A woman left, a dream collapsed. Your name doesn't echo, your presence doesn't shake the room. You used to be something. Now you're just watching yourself fall apart. And the world, it doesn't care. It doesn't pause. It doesn't reach out. You scream in silence, and nothing answers. You're bleeding, but no one sees the wounds. You're drowning, but the ocean's inside your chest. Now look around. There's no cavalry, no savior, no applause, only you. And the ashes, the chains that held you. Snapped, but so was your will. You're standing in the storm, shirt torn, fists raw, rain in your eyes. Staring at your reflection in a broken mirror. This is it. You either rise or rot. You either rebuild from nothing, with steel in your spine and silence in your mouth, or you stay weak, forever. Decide, right now, because if you don't, your story ends right here. If you're done being weak, if you're done chasing people who left, if you're done talking about change and ready to become change, then drop a comment below right now. I will rebuild in silence. Because this isn't just a video, it's a war cry. For men who are ready to kill the soft version of themselves. This channel isn't for comfort. It's for warriors in the making. No fluff, no fake motivation. Only fire, silence, and brutal self-discipline. So if that's you, subscribe. And don't do it for me. Do it because your future self demands it. Because your enemies don't sleep. Your demons don't take days off. And neither can you. Let the weak scroll away. You stay. You rebuild. You weren't born weak. You were made that way. Softened by comfort. Poisoned by pleasure. Trained to obey your emotions. Trained to chase dopamine and call it happiness. This world, it doesn't want strong men anymore. It wants you entertained, not dangerous. It wants you comfortable, not focused. It wants you quiet, not powerful. Every scroll, every notification, every quick hit of fake connection, it's a slow death of your fire, of your mission, of your mind. Look around. Most men are slaves. Slaves to lust. Slaves to fear, slaves to validation, and they don't even know it. Because the chains are invisible, made of screens, sex, sugar, and likes. And then they wonder why they feel empty, why they have no purpose, no power, no fire in the morning, no strength at night, why women leave, why the mirror looks like a stranger, but not you, not anymore. Because today, we burn that version of you to the ground. The Stoics knew the truth, that a man's mind is the only kingdom he ever truly owns. Marcus Aurelius said it best. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. You can't control rejection. You can't control loss, but you can control your response. You can train your emotions like a soldier sharpens his blade. The world wants you reactive. You must become calculated. The world wants you loud. You must become silent. The world wants you chasing pleasure. You must chase purpose. This isn't self-help. This is self-destruction of the old you. This isn't feel-good fluff. This is brutal clarity. You don't need more comfort. You need discipline. You don't need more likes. You need control. You don't need more chances. You need a code, forged in silence and followed without compromise. And that's exactly what you're getting. Not 7 tips, not 7 ideas, but 7 laws. Unbreakable, unforgiving, stoic. Laws that rebuild broken men from the inside out. Laws that have no sympathy for your weakness. Laws that turn pain into power, silence into strength, and distraction into direction. You want to be a man that commands respect, not by force, but by presence, Then etch these laws into your mind. Live them, bleed for them, and when the world throws chaos at your doorstep, you'll stand there, calm, cold, unmoved. This is the blueprint. Let the weak turn away. You begin. You say you want to rebuild. You say you're ready to become stronger, colder, more focused. But your phone lights up every 2 minutes. Your head is filled with voices that aren't your own, and your time is stolen by apps that don't care if you live or rot. Let's get one thing clear. You cannot become a warrior in a room full of noise. You are not failing because you're broken. You're failing because you're distracted. You're losing your mind because it's being pulled in 100 directions, and none of them lead to discipline, strength, or meaning. Every scroll is a wound. Every notification is a leash. Every hour you give to digital poison is an hour you've surrendered, and you'll never get it back. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you sat in a room with no sound, no screen, no noise? Just you and your thoughts, just silence. Most men can't even go 5 minutes. They panic, because deep down, they know. Silence forces confrontation. When you're silent, you hear the truth. You see the mess. You feel the guilt. And you either deal with it or run back to the noise. But silence is the forge. It's where clarity is born. It's where the weak man dies, and the real one takes shape. Right now, your mind is a battlefield. Your focus is bleeding. Your energy is drained before the day even starts. You wake up, check your phone. The war is lost before you even stand. You scroll, you compare. You see men who look better, live bigger, move faster, and your soul starts to rot with envy and doubt. You consume more than you create. You react more than you lead. You laugh at memes that cost you hours while your goals die slowly in the shadows. That's not living. That's self-erasure. You must cut the noise. Ruthlessly, without mercy. Cut the porn. Cut the endless scrolling. Cut the shallow talk. Cut the group chats filled with men going nowhere. Cut the fake urgency, the dopamine addiction, the meaningless chaos. Not because you're better, but because you're done being a slave. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish." Let them think you're boring. Let them laugh because you left the group. Let them wonder why you don't post anymore. While they post about fake wins, you build real ones in the dark. This is the first law because it's the hardest. It's not physical. It's not about muscles. It's not about income. It's about ownership over your mind. You must treat your attention like a king guards his throne, because whatever owns your attention owns you. You say you want to be great, then act like your time is sacred, because it is. Every time you scroll instead of study, every time you watch instead of move, every time you absorb instead of build, you hand your power away. Your brain is a blade, and right now it's rusted. Cut the noise, and it sharpens. Keep the noise, and it snaps. Let's go deeper. What are you afraid of when the noise is gone? That you'll feel lonely? Good. That means your soul is asking you to evolve. That you'll feel behind? Good. That means you finally see how much time you've wasted. Awareness is pain, but it's the first step. Right now, you're soft because you're overstimulated. Nothing excites you anymore because everything is fake intensity. You're constantly fed fast content, fast food, fast pleasure. Your brain doesn't know how to enjoy focus anymore, and without focus, you can't achieve anything worthwhile. This law isn't about deleting apps. It's about rewiring your brain for war. A soldier doesn't check TikTok during battle. A lion doesn't pause to scroll during the hunt. You want power, then act like your mind is a weapon, not a dumping ground for garbage. Here's your task. Remove every app that doesn't move you forward. Silence every group that doesn't sharpen you. Wake up and delay screen time by 1 hour. Journal before you scroll. Read before you watch, and sit in silence every single day. until it becomes your edge. At first, it'll feel like withdrawal, because you've been numbed for too long. But give it a week, and you'll feel it. The fog lifting, the thoughts sharpening, the fire returning. Your mental clarity will be so rare, it'll feel like a superpower. You'll start to notice things again, your own thoughts, your own instincts, your own strength. Because that strength was never gone, it was just buried, under noise, under garbage, under cheap pleasure. So cut it, like a surgeon removing a tumor, like a warrior shedding dead weight, like a king burning the enemy camp. This is not optional. This is law number 1. Because without focus, all the other laws are worthless. You can't master your emotions if you're distracted. You can't build in silence if you're addicted to noise. You can't serve a mission if your mind is hijacked. This is the gateway. Pass through it, or stay behind. There is no middle ground. Because men who win guard their attention like it's their soul. And men who lose, they scroll while the world burns around them. So make the cut and don't look back. Your old self will scream. Your addictions will beg. The noise will call. Ignore it, because real men move in silence. And silence is where you sharpen your blade. Cut the noise, or stay weak. Your future depends on this moment. Decide. Now you break. Not because life is hard, but because you react without discipline. Pain isn't the problem. Your weakness toward it is. A breakup doesn't destroy you. Your obsession does. Failure doesn't end you. Your panic does. Words don't hurt you. Your need for validation does. You think emotions are truth, but they're not. They're shadows. Loud, fast, irrational. You cannot rebuild yourself if you are a slave to every feeling. The man who obeys emotion becomes a puppet, pulled by impulse, broken by rejection, collapsed by pressure. You must master emotional control, or be mastered by it. Stoics didn't deny pain. They faced it and stayed still. Because stillness is power. Stillness is strength. Stillness is sovereignty over your soul. Right now, you move like a leaf in the wind. One insult and you spiral. One failure and you crumble. One rejection and you drown in rage or sadness. Why? Because you haven't trained your emotions. You've let them run wild like fire in a dry forest. And now they burn everything. Your logic, your focus, your masculinity. You cry for things that didn't belong to you. You rage at things you can't control. You spiral over people who never deserved your energy. That ends here, because real men bleed in silence. They don't beg. They don't explode. They don't chase. They sit with pain and absorb it like stone. They stand still in fire. Seneca said, "He is most powerful who has power over himself." Understand this. You will never control life. But you can control your response. And in that control, you win. Let me show you how a man handles chaos. A woman leaves. He doesn't chase. He accepts. He learns. He levels up. A business fails. He doesn't spiral. He recalibrates. He sharpens. He rebuilds. Someone insults him. He doesn't bark back. He smiles. Because wolves don't respond to insects. Emotional control is not the absence of feeling. It's domination over feeling. You feel it and choose your action. Not react, not collapse. Choose. You must train yourself to sit in darkness and stay unmoved. Here's the truth. You cannot lead a life of meaning if your mood controls your discipline. You cannot keep a relationship if your emotions explode without restraint. You cannot be respected by other men if you can't hold yourself in check. You either learn to calm the storm inside, or you become a slave to every gust of wind outside. Look at the men you admire, the calm ones, the powerful ones, the composed ones. They don't yell, they don't pout, they don't melt. They move through life like a glacier, slow, sharp, and unstoppable. And if you want that, then you have to kill the emotional child inside you. Yes, kill him. The version of you that whines, that complains, that posts cryptic messages hoping someone will notice your pain. That sends long texts trying to explain your side, that punches walls and cries in the mirror. That boy must die, so the man can be born. You need to become cold, not heartless, just clear. A man who can feel pain, feel betrayal, feel loss, and not break. Not because it doesn't hurt, but because he's trained for this. That's stoicism, not pretending it's fine, not suppressing everything like a ticking bomb, but channeling emotion like a warrior channels fire into a blade. Let me give you a system. When emotion hits you, stop, do not react, do not text, do not speak, do not post, just stop, breathe. Name the emotion, feel it, hold it, watch it, then ask, is this mine to control? Is this worth my energy? What action makes me stronger? If the answer makes you weaker, do nothing. If the answer builds you, move with force. That's how you reclaim your mind. Not by never feeling, but by feeling everything and still choosing silence. Women won't understand this. Modern society won't either. They'll say you're cold, emotionless, a robot. Let them talk. You're not here to explain your fire. You're here to forge it. Because when the time comes, you don't want to be the man who talks about emotional strength. You want to be the one who lives it, while others fold. Let me paint the contrast. Weak men cry when a woman ignores them, explode when they lose, whine when life gets hard, blame everyone but themselves. Strong men accept rejection like a king, respond to loss with strategy, walk through pain with posture, own their scars, and never use them as excuses. Emotional control is freedom, because once you learn to command yourself, no one can command you. That's what the Stoics knew. Marcus Aurelius buried his wife and children, led armies through war and plague, was betrayed and tested at every turn. And what did he say? Choose not to be harmed, and you won't be. That's a king, that's power, that's what you need to become. Every time you feel the urge to lose control, remind yourself, this moment is the test. Not when everything is calm, but when your chest is tight, your ego is bleeding, and your pride is on fire. That's the arena. And in that arena, your job is simple. Stand still. Stay silent. Choose logic over chaos. That's how you train. That's how you dominate. You'll still feel pain, but it won't own you. You'll still feel rage, but you'll channel it. You'll still feel sorrow, but you'll walk forward anyway. This is the law, not a suggestion, a law. Because if you don't follow it, you will never grow. You'll repeat the same emotional mistakes again and again. Ruin your relationships, destroy your self-respect, sabotage your future. But if you follow it, you'll become untouchable. People will try to trigger you. You'll be calm. Life will throw storms at you. You'll walk through them. Women will test you, and you'll pass without a word, because you're not here to be liked. You're here to lead your life like a king rules a kingdom, with strength, with stillness, with fire beneath the ice. So take this law, etch it into your mind, train it every single day, and when the world explodes, you'll be the one man who doesn't flinch. Master emotional control, or be a slave. There is no middle ground. Choose now. You talk too much, you post your pain, you broadcast your grind. You want the world to notice that you're changing. But real change doesn't announce itself. Rebuilding is not a show, it's war. And war is fought in the dark. Every time you post your progress, you weaken it. Every time you seek applause, you soften your edge. Every time you explain yourself, you surrender power. You do not owe the world an explanation. You owe yourself transformation. Let them think you're quiet. Let them assume you've fallen off. Let them forget you. Because one day, you'll return unrecognizable. Men who talk before they act collapse. Men who scream their goals never finish. Men who chase approval die inside when it doesn't come. You say you're becoming stronger. Good. Then shut up and prove it in silence. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." He didn't tweet it. He didn't post a gym selfie. He didn't write captions about his pain. He just became. You're not a boy anymore. You don't need to be seen to exist. You don't need a like to validate your path. You don't need sympathy for your scars. Your scars are your proof, not your brand. We live in a world where everyone is loud. Loud about nothing. Loud about pretending. Loud about fake confidence and fake happiness. You want to win? Go silent. Silence makes them wonder. Silence makes them uncomfortable. Silence makes you dangerous, because silence means you're focused. It means you're not performing. It means you're locked in on the mission, not the spotlight. Look around. The loudest men are the weakest. They brag because they need to convince themselves. They post because they crave relevance. They talk because they fear stillness. You need none of that. A lion doesn't announce his hunt. He stalks, he studies, he strikes. Your rebuild must be like this. Not everyone needs to know you're hitting the gym again. Not everyone deserves to hear about your healing. Not everyone should see your routines, your rituals, your rise. Keep it sacred. Keep it quiet. Keep it yours. Silence is power. Because in silence, you have no one to impress. You have no one to explain to. You have no audience. You only have one thing: results. And results speak louder than any caption ever could. Let me ask you this. Who do you respect more? The man who works in silence and shows up one day with undeniable power? Or the man who posts every step, every meal, every sweat drop, and still stays the same? Exactly. Real men don't flex. They build. This isn't just about pride. It's about energy. Because every second you waste telling the world what you're doing is a second you could have been doing. And you don't have time to waste. You've already wasted years chasing approval, chasing people, chasing applause. Now is the time to go dark, to enter the cave, to disappear, to reconstruct yourself in silence. Let the world think you lost. Let them talk. Let them gossip. Because while they're watching others, you're watching the mirror. And when you emerge, you won't need to speak. Your presence will say everything. People will ask, "What happened to you? How did you do this? Where have you been?" And you'll just smile. Because they'll never understand. They weren't in the cave. They didn't see the blood. They didn't hear the screams. They didn't carry the weight. They just see the result. That's all they need. Here's the hard truth. Rebuilding in silence is lonely. It's boring. It's brutal. No applause. No attention. No feedback. Just reps. Just reflection. Just you, facing yourself. You'll want to post. You'll want to prove yourself. You'll want people to know. Resist. Because every time you share the process, you dilute the discipline. Protect your process like it's your last breath. This is sacred ground. This is war strategy. This is sacrifice. And no one applauds sacrifice in real time. They only cheer when you've already won. Good. Let them wait. Your silence will make the roar louder. Let me give you rules to follow. Stop explaining your life to people. If they don't understand your path, they're not meant to walk it. Stop posting your goals. Set them, chase them, achieve them. Then let the results speak. Stop seeking sympathy. No one is coming to fix you. That's your job. Build a life so real. It doesn't need captions. Speak only when it strengthens your discipline. Silence the rest. You think you need attention. You don't. You need momentum. You think you need motivation? You don't. You need solitude. You think you need support? You don't. You need self-respect. And that only comes from showing up when no one sees you. Let your silence sharpen you. Every day you grind in the dark, you become more dangerous. Every day you train without cameras, you become more deadly. Every day you heal without talking about it, you become more powerful. And when you return, you won't need to say a word. They'll feel it, they'll see it, they'll respect it. Because men who rebuild in silence don't need to introduce themselves. So from this moment on, you shut the noise. You walk alone. You stop talking. You start rising. No status updates, no progress reports, no validation, just war. Silent, disciplined, unforgiving. Rebuild in silence. Then let the silence speak for you. There will be days you don't feel like it. Days your chest is heavy, your eyes are tired, your motivation is gone. And everything inside you whispers, take it easy. That's the moment. Right there. That moment is the war. You either choose discipline or you obey emotion. And the second you choose emotion, you lose. You think successful men always feel motivated. They just stop listening to the weakness in their head because they understand this. Emotions are weather. Discipline is steel. Your feelings change like the wind. Happy 1 minute. Broken the next. Inspired in the morning, destroyed by nightfall. You can't build a kingdom on storms. You build it with structure, with repetition, with discipline. You say, but I'm tired. Good. Train anyway. But I'm heartbroken. Good. Work anyway. But I'm not in the mood. Perfect. That's when it counts the most. Weak men act when it's easy. Strong men act especially when it's not. That's what separates the elite from the average. That's what forges warriors. That's what rebuilds broken men. Brick by brick, rep by rep, second by second. Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Read that again. What you feel doesn't matter. What you decide does. Feelings are noise. Discipline is the code, and real men follow the code, not their mood. Let me be clear. You don't need to feel like a king to act like one. You don't need to feel strong to train. You don't need to feel inspired to write, work, lead, move. You just need to move. Let me give you truth. You'll never feel like doing the hard things, not consistently. That's what makes them hard, and that's what makes them valuable. Do you think the warrior loves sharpening his blade at dawn? But he does it anyway, because he knows war's coming, and for you, war is already here. The war against comfort, the war against softness, the war against your emotional weakness, and discipline is your only weapon. Without it, you're a slave. You'll wake up late, scroll for hours, skip the workout, skip the work, justify every failure, and wonder why your life is still stuck. But with discipline, you become a force. You wake up when you said you would. You train when it hurts. You work when no one claps. You move when your mind says stop. That is power. That is freedom. That is control. Not control of the world, but control of yourself. You want a better body? Discipline. You want a sharper mind? Discipline. You want to escape heartbreak? Discipline. You want to rebuild your life from ashes? Discipline. You don't need more feelings. You need a non-negotiable system. Let me give you the rule. Discipline is doing it no matter how you feel. No compromise, no excuses, no back doors. You either do what's required or you stay who you've always been. Your future is being shaped right now. Every decision you make either sharpens your edge or dulls it. Every skipped rep softens you. Every delayed action weakens you. Every lie you tell yourself, I'll do it later, I'm not ready, I need rest, kills you, little by little, day by day, until you wake up and realize you built your life on emotion, and emotion builds nothing. Now let me talk about identity. Discipline is not just action, it's who you become. Every time you follow through, you tell your brain, "This is who I am now." And your brain listens. That's how transformation begins. Not with hype, not with emotion, but with repetition. You do the thing over and over. And eventually, you are the thing. You don't try to be disciplined. You become it. It fuses into your character, like steel hammered into shape. And when that happens, you become unstoppable. Because the world can take away your money, your friends, your peace. But it can't take your code. It can't take your inner structure. It can't break what you built in fire. You don't need perfect days. You need consistent ones. You don't need inspiration. You need routine. You don't need sympathy. You need self-respect, when that only comes from discipline. Let me give you practical commands. Wake up at the same time. No snooze. Train daily, even 15 minutes. No excuses. Build a morning ritual that's sacred. No phone, no input, just movement. Schedule your priorities. Protect them like a fortress. When the mind says stop, double down. Track your habits. Every single day. Make it visual. Make it brutal. Make it count. And when you fall, don't cry, don't spiral, just rise. Immediately. Discipline is not perfection, it's commitment. It's getting back up faster every time. You think kings never fall? They fall all the time, but they don't stay there. They rise. In silence, without excuses. This is your call to rise. From now on, your feelings don't dictate your actions. Your actions shape your future. Feel it or not, you show up. Want it or not, you do it. Like it or not, you finish it. Because that's the man you're becoming, not the emotional reactor, not the mood-based performer, but the one who chooses what's necessary every time. Your calendar becomes sacred, your habits become holy, your structure becomes steel, and when the chaos comes, you will not bend, you will not fold, you will not disappear, you'll move through it with precision, because you're not driven by moods anymore. You're driven by mission. That's stoicism, that's masculinity, that's power. Discipline is the sword that carves the man from the noise. So sharpen it, wield it, live by it. Choose discipline over emotion, or stay weak forever. The choice is yours. Right now, you're too comfortable. That's your problem. Soft bed, warm shower, easy food, fast pleasure, zero resistance, and you wonder why you feel weak. You wonder why your mind breaks under pressure, why your body gives up when it's pushed, why your will folds at the first sign of stress. It's simple. You've been coddled, not carved. You haven't been tested. You've been spoiled. Comfort is the drug that kills more men than failure. Because failure at least teaches. But comfort, it numbs, it softens, it seduces. It tells you it's okay to skip today. You've worked hard enough. You deserve rest. You don't need to suffer. Lies. Every one of them. You don't need more comfort. You need war. Self-imposed war. You need to suffer on purpose before life makes you suffer by force. Seneca said, "We must undergo a hard winter training and not rush into things for which we haven't prepared." What is that winter training? It's hardship. Chosen hardship. Voluntary pain. Self-built fire. It's saying, I will suffer now by choice, so that nothing the world throws at me can break me. Because the man who suffers in training laughs in war. Right now, your comfort is your cage. Every time you hit snooze, you weaken your spine. Every time you take the easy route, you trade your power for pleasure. Every time you avoid the hard thing, you surrender to softness. You say you want to be strong, then stop chasing ease. The greatest men in history, they weren't pampered. They were tempered by fire, pressure, pain. You must be the same. Start by doing what's hard, on purpose. Wake up before the world. Take cold showers. Train when you don't feel like it. Fast when your body wants food. Walk when your mind wants a ride. Face discomfort daily. Not once, but always. Why? Because if you don't, comfort will destroy you. Life is not a playground. It's a battlefield. And only those who've bled in silence can stand when the chaos begins. Voluntary hardship isn't punishment, it's preparation. You're not doing it because you hate yourself. You're doing it because you love the future version of you, the one who needs to be tougher, sharper, colder, ready. There's a man out there right now, somewhere, training while you sleep, suffering while you scroll, leveling up while you delay. One day you'll meet him, and he will win, because he chose pain when you chose comfort. That's the brutal truth. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your training, and if your training is soft, you'll be soft. So build your own hell every day and learn to enjoy it. Wake up before sunrise. Not because you want to, but because it sucks. And in the suck, you grow. Lift weights until your hands shake. Run until your lungs burn. Write when your mind is blank. Work when you'd rather rest. Train discipline through resistance. You need struggle. You need resistance. You need that sharp edge of discomfort that forces growth. Because if everything is easy, you'll never change. You'll stay stuck in the same cycle. Same habits. Same failures. Same soft outcomes. But if you make life harder now, life gets easier later. Most men avoid the cold. They avoid the burn. They avoid the silence. You seek it. You hunt it. You build your life around it. Because you understand this. The path of hardship is the path of kings. It's the man who chooses to suffer now that walks with peace later. You want peace? Then earn it. You want strength? Then bleed for it. You want greatness? Then endure what weak men avoid. Here's the mindset shift. Stop asking, what's easiest? Start asking, what's hardest? Then do that. Because the pain you avoid today will own you tomorrow. The relationship that's hard to end it. The routine that's hard to start it. The conversation that's hard to have it. The action that's hard to take it. Don't wait for life to beat you into strength. Beat yourself into it. Make adversity a ritual. Make struggle your lifestyle. Make pain your daily training. This is the opposite of modern culture. The world tells you to chase comfort. We tell you to chase discomfort, because comfort is the enemy of progress, the enemy of masculinity, the enemy of greatness. Look around, you'll see it. Men scrolling, numbing, escaping, not building, not enduring, not facing the mirror. You must be different. Every day ask yourself, what am I avoiding? Then run directly into it, because your future is not built in the comfort zone. It's built in the pressure, in the cold, in the lonely, brutal hours of voluntary suffering. You say you want to become something powerful. Then you must forge it, and forging hurts. But once forged, steel does not break. Every hardship you choose now becomes armor later. Every cold morning, every hard workout, every silent sacrifice, it stacks, it hardens you, it prepares you for a life that will not go easy on you, because life will test you with betrayal, with failure, with heartbreak, with pain. And when it does, you'll either break or stand. And standing is only possible if you've trained for the storm. You don't rise when pressure hits. You rise from how you train when no one's watching. So get addicted to resistance. Build tolerance to discomfort. Find pride in pain. Because the man who suffers with intention becomes unstoppable. Final truth. If your life feels empty, it's because you've removed too much pain. Reinsert it, reclaim it, and use it as fuel. Start now, today, not tomorrow. Take the cold shower. Wake before the alarm. Train until you collapse. Do the thing you're dreading again and again and again, until pain becomes familiar, until the fire doesn't scare you, until you laugh in storms that used to destroy you. This is the law, not a suggestion, not advice, a law. Embrace voluntary hardship or stay fragile in comfort. Choose the suffering that forges you, or life will force suffering that breaks you. You decide, right here, right now. You want to rebuild. You want strength, discipline, power, cold focus, inner peace. But your circle is soft. Your circle is weak. Your circle is killing you. Understand this. You do not rise alone. You rise with who you allow around you. Look closely. Are the people in your life building you or bleeding you? Are they pushing you to become more or pulling you back into mediocrity? Do they make you sharper or softer? Because whether you admit it or not, you are becoming them, their habits, their beliefs, their energy, their fears, their laziness. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, and your thoughts are being shaped daily by the people around you." So if your crew is full of complainers, quitters, gossipers, addicts, and victims, guess what? That's your future. No matter how disciplined you think you are, you will eventually sink with the ship you're tied to. Let me be brutal with you. If your friends get drunk every weekend, you're next. If they scroll all day, you'll lose hours too. If they chase girls instead of greatness, you'll follow. If they laugh at your goals, you'll shrink them. You cannot rebuild your life while dragging corpses with you. Stop being loyal to weakness. Stop giving time to people who make you soft. Stop explaining your ambition to people who are allergic to effort. Stop trying to fix people who don't want to change. You don't need 20 friends. You don't need to be liked. You don't need support from people who barely support themselves. You need 2 or 3 warriors. That's it. Men who train, men who build, men who move in silence, men who speak less and execute more. Men who sharpen you, not dull you. You're building a warship. Your mission is the ocean. Your mind is the engine. And the people around you, they're either anchors or sails. There is no in-between. And every weak man you keep close is a hole in your hull. Sink or cut, that's the law. It sounds cold, but it's necessary. Because if you don't cut them, they will cut your future. They will poison your discipline. They will normalize failure. They will make softness feel okay. But it's not okay. Not for a man who wants to rise. Let me give you a truth most won't say. You are allowed to outgrow people. In fact, you must. Outgrowing people doesn't make you heartless. It makes you focused. It means you finally value your time, your energy, your life. The world is full of men who stayed stuck because they were too afraid to walk alone. Don't be one of them. If your circle mocks your discipline, walk alone. If your circle avoids discomfort, walk alone. If your circle distracts you from the mission, walk alone. Because walking alone in power is 100 times better than walking with the weak in comfort. You owe no one your future. You owe no one your loyalty, if it costs your evolution. This chapter is about ruthlessness, cutting without hesitation, not in anger, not in hate, but in clarity. Clarity that says, my future is more important than your comfort. My vision is more sacred than our past. My discipline is not up for debate. You don't need to explain. You don't need to argue. You don't need to announce it. Just distance, just space, just movement. Start giving your time only to those who move like you, think like you, sharpen like you, bleed for greatness like you. If you don't have those men yet, good. Be one first, lead the way, and watch them appear. But never, and I mean never, lower your standard to fit into weakness. That's how kings become slaves. And you are not a slave, not anymore. You've seen what happens when you surround yourself with noise. You lose years, you lose self-respect, you lose your edge. Now it's time to claim it back. Cut the gossip, cut the mediocrity, cut the convenience, cut the comfort, cut the fake smiles, cut the dead weight. This isn't just about friendships, it's about your environment. Audit everything. Who do you follow online? What do you see every day? Who do you speak to the most? What conversations do you allow? Your inputs shape your future. If your inputs are weak, emotional, chaotic, your mind will follow. So tighten the gates. Guard your circle like you guard your life. Because that's what's at stake. And don't expect applause. Don't expect understanding. People will say you changed. Yes, you did. And you were supposed to. You're not the same man. And that's the point. Let them be confused. Let them gossip. Let them call you cold. They weren't with you in the dark. They didn't carry your guilt. They didn't face your demons. They didn't stay up at night wondering if they'd ever rise again. You did. You know. So you cut. And when you cut, you create space. Space for greatness. For momentum. For stillness. For strength. The man you want to become. He's waiting on the other side of these cuts. So don't hesitate, don't overthink, don't explain, just move. Because in war, you don't bring the weak with you, you lead or you lose. Cut weak people ruthlessly, or they will kill your strength quietly. Choose, right now. You want strength, purpose, peace. Then stop making yourself the center of the universe. You're lost because your life is small. It's built around you, your wants, your pain, your pleasure, your validation. That's why it all collapses when things don't go your way. The real power, the unbreakable fire, it comes when you attach yourself to a mission greater than you. That's when heartbreak becomes fuel. That's when failure becomes training. That's when pain becomes sacred. Because it all feeds the mission. You don't wake up for dopamine anymore. You wake up for war. You stop asking, how do I feel? You start asking, what needs to be done? That shift, that's when boys become men. That's when men become warriors. And warriors don't chase applause. They serve the empire. Epictetus said, don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. Live the mission. Breathe it. Move like it's tattooed on your soul. Ask yourself if your comfort was stripped away, if no one clapped for you, if no one saw your progress. Would you still fight? If the answer is no, your purpose is weak. If the answer is yes, you've found your code. Men with no mission collapse at the first sign of resistance. They chase attention. They bounce from goal to goal, relationship to relationship, pleasure to pleasure. Empty, restless, fragile. But the man with a mission, he walks differently. He suffers quietly. He leads silently. He builds slowly. And when the storm hits, he smiles, because he's been waiting for it. His suffering has meaning. That's what most men are missing. Meaning. They have money, women, muscles, things, but no why. No fire behind the movement, no reason to rise when life hurts. You want peace? Get a reason to bleed. You want fire? Get something to protect. You want discipline? Get a cause that demands it. Your mission can't be ego. It can't be about looking good or proving someone wrong. That fades. It must go deeper. It must be about who you're becoming and what you're building for others. You think it's soft to serve others? Wrong. It's the most savage thing a man can do, to carry weight for people who may never thank you, to bleed for a future you might never live in, to build for a generation you may never meet. That's legacy, that's power, that's purpose, and it makes you indestructible, because the man who fights for himself gives up when it hurts. But the man who fights for the mission, he keeps going when his legs break. He doesn't care about comfort. He cares about duty, responsibility, devotion. Let me ask you, what's your mission? If you don't know, that's your first task. Find it, and don't stop until you do. Your mission might be to become a father your son can model, to build a business that creates freedom, to rise from pain so other broken men know it's possible, to serve your community, your faith, your people, to build a legacy that echoes after death. Whatever it is, make it real. Make it yours. Make it bigger than you, because when your days are hard, your mission will carry you. When your emotions scream, your mission will anchor you. When life breaks your back, your mission will whisper, "Stand up, we're not done yet." You'll stop chasing shallow rewards. You'll stop explaining your pain. You'll stop quitting halfway because the mission doesn't care how you feel. It only asks, "Are you ready to bleed today?" And your answer must be, yes. Every damn day, yes. Every heartbreak, yes. Every failure, yes. Every storm, yes. Because you're not living for applause. You're not living for comfort. You're living for something sacred. That's why soldiers keep fighting. Not for medals, but for the man next to them, for the flag behind them, for the future ahead of them. You must become a soldier like that. Cold, calm, relentless. Stop asking, "What do I get out of this?" Start asking, "Who do I become through this?" That's how you make pain pay rent. That's how you make discipline permanent. That's how you walk through hell without fear, because you're not here to take. You're here to give, to build, to lead. Your mission is what makes your scars holy, what makes your silence golden, what makes your pain beautiful. It's what turns random suffering into sacred suffering. And it's what will separate you from every man still chasing comfort and applause. So write your mission down. Read it daily. Burn it into your brain. Build your schedule around it. Say no to anything that weakens it. Live it. Every word, every second, every drop of sweat and blood. Make it who you are. Because when the mission becomes your identity, you no longer need motivation. You no longer fear setbacks. You no longer beg for clarity. You just move. And that's what men are supposed to do. Move, lead, carry, protect, create. That's how you build a life that means something. That's how you make sure you don't waste the pain you've already lived. So hear me now. This is not optional. This is law. Serve a mission greater than yourself, or stay trapped in self-pity forever. Stand for something sacred, bleed for something beautiful. Move with something eternal behind you. That's how broken men rebuild. You've heard the laws. Not tips, not hacks, not feel-good fluff. Laws, cut the noise. Control your emotions. Rebuild in silence. Choose discipline. Embrace hardship. Cut the weak. Serve the mission. This is not a lifestyle. It's a death sentence for your old self. Because the version of you that lived for comfort, distraction, validation, he has to die. You can't carry him into your future. You can't rebuild while dragging that soft, addicted, reactive version of yourself behind you. You want clarity? Kill the noise. You want power? Master your emotions. You want results? Move in silence. You want greatness? Sacrifice comfort. Daily. You want peace? Cut every weak link, inside and out. You want legacy? Find a mission bigger than your excuses. This is how broken men rise. This is how warriors are forged, not in applause, but in silence. Not in emotion, but in logic. Not in crowds, but in isolation. Most men will never follow these laws. They'll watch videos, take notes, get hyped for a day, and return to their weakness. Don't be one of them. You've seen the truth now. The mask is off. The excuses are exposed. The path is clear, brutal but clear. So what are you going to do? Go back to comfort? Or burn the comfort to the ground? Keep chasing attention, or vanish and build in silence. Keep collapsing over emotions, or become the man who stands still in fire. The choice is yours. It always has been, and it always will be. You either rise now, or you rot slowly, pretending it's not the right time. But you know what time it is. It's time to be dangerous again. Time to build the inner citadel. Time to kill the victim and crown the warrior. This is your line in the sand. If you're still here, still watching, still breathing, it means the fire inside you isn't gone. It's waiting, silent, smoldering, ready to become something terrifying. Let it. From this moment forward, you operate by code. You move by law. You train like a soldier. You think like a Stoic. You act like a man rebuilding his empire from ashes. Because that's what you are now. Not a victim, not a boy, not a broken man, a weapon, sharpened, silent, relentless. So walk the path, live the laws, die to the old version of you, and rise again with cold eyes, calm blood, and a soul built for storms. Because in the end, no one's coming to save you. You have to save yourself. And now you know exactly how. Let them sleep. Let them scroll. Let them rot in comfort. You rebuild in silence, by the code, for the mission. And when the world sees you again, it won't recognize what you've become.